Good morning, everyone, and let me welcome you all to City Hall, and thank you for being here as we swear in the newest members of the Civilian Review Board and the Women's Commission. I'd like to also thank our Director of the Office of Equity and Civil Rights, Karan Hawkins, and her team, Delegate Deputy Director Kaylin Young, for being here. And now, of course, turning to the most important folks here today, those who have taken the important step to get involved and serve their community. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks and congratulations to Lillian Sparks Robinson, who will be sworn in as a member of the Women's Commission, and Wesley Hawkins, who will be sworn in as a member of the Civilian Review Board. Your willingness to serve is not only commendable, but really essential for the continued progress and prosperity of the city of Baltimore. But we know that your example doesn't stand alone. There is a standing invitation from me to all Baltimoreans who are interested. There is a board and commission for you, no matter what subject matter you care about the most. Please let us know. So, as I always say, I invite Lottie, Dottie, and everybody to apply to be on a board and commission here in the city. It's truly one of the best ways to participate in shaping the future of your city. Mr. Hawkins, the task before you is not an easy one. The Civilian Review Board, as you know, is responsible for investigating complaints against police officers related to abusive language, false arrests, false imprisonment, harassment, and the use of excessive force. And I am confident that you will handle this task with the utmost integrity and respect for those who report wrongdoing on part of police officers. But know that you are not in that work alone. You will join an ecosystem of police accountability, which includes the Police Accountability Board and the Administrative Charging Committee, better known as the ACC, all of which are housed under the Police Accountability Division of the Office of Equity and Civil Rights. Ms. Sparks Robinson, the same applies to you. In times like these, it's clear from what we're seeing this election cycle that now more than ever we must ensure our city is a place that honors, protects, and prioritizes the needs of women. Thankfully, despite the attacks on women's rights across the country, here in Baltimore City, we know the importance of listening to women and empowering them to lead on the issues that directly impact their lives. And I'm confident that with your lived experience, along with your professional expertise, that will be invaluable as we serve on the Baltimore City Women's Commission. Thank you both for your dedication to your city. And with that, here we go. All right. I asked the question I always ask. Are you sure? Because once you raise your right hand, we have you for life. So once you do that, it's over. All right. Ladies first, I'm going to start with you, ma'am. When I say raise your right hand for me, please. And when I say I and state your name and repeat after me. I,
Lillian Sparks Robinson,
do swear
that
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will
and that I will
be faithful and bear true allegiance
be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the laws and Constitution thereof,
and support the laws and Constitution thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully, without partiality or prejudice, execute the office of member of the Baltimore City Women's Commission
member of the Baltimore City Women's Commission,
according to the Constitution of Maryland
according to the Constitution of Maryland
and the laws of Baltimore City.
and the laws of Baltimore City.
Congratulations, ma'am. right, sir. Now on to you. Raise your right hand. I
I, Wesley Hawkins,
do swear
do swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will
and that I will
be faithful and bear true allegiance
be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the constitutional and laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of,
execute, say it again,
execute the office of
execute the office of
member of the Baltimore City Civilian Review Board,
member of the Baltimore City Civilian Review Board,
according to the Constitution of Maryland
according to the Constitution of Maryland
and the laws of Baltimore City.
and the laws of Baltimore City.
Congratulations, sir. Thank you very much, both. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Before we take pictures, any questions from our friends in the press?
Mayor, can you talk about the landlord accountability legislation? I mean, what is it going to do?
Well, I will let the bill sponsor walk you through that. I know that the councilman wants to talk to you about that, but this is strengthening what we're able to do to protect for our tenants in Baltimore City. We know there are lots and lots of Baltimore City residents that are tenants, and we want them to be able to stay in their homes, but also have that accountability for them to live in homes that are up to standard. And we're grateful to the council for passing this piece of legislation, and look forward to working with them as we work to implement it.
What's your message to landlords? What would you say to them about getting their stuff together?
That we all believe in the opportunity for folks to own property and make money, but we have to do that the right way. And that means that we have to be providing standard, up to standard living conditions for our residents in the city. And that when folks aren't doing that, you're going to be held accountable.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Senior?
Mr. Mayor, this is off topic. Concerning question F, the charter amendment for the Inner Harbor, can you just elaborate on why you want that to pass?
Yeah, I think that, thank you for that question. The Inner Harbor is the Baltimore's face to the world. And for the last at least 2 decades, it's been sitting there deteriorating on itself. And what we're asking the residents of Baltimore to vote for is for us to modernize that, to take that into the 21st century, for us to allow it to be an Inner Harbor that is open to all Baltimoreans and not just some, as it has been for many times in my lifetime. And to do that with the plan that a young man from West Baltimore, who just happens to now be the owner of that facility, to allow that to happen, to allow that to take place, for us to have more conversation, and just to be a reminder to folks that we have to make investments there, because not only is this about the buildings and the things that are coming. I want to cut through. This is about having more park space, not less park space. And there are things that are going to happen there that we need to do regardless, like fixing a promenade. But if we want the city to grow into the next 21st century best version of itself, then we have to capitalize on making sure that our face to the world, the Inner Harbor, is built brand new. Thank you very much. Oh, sorry, Barry. I didn't
That's
see
okay,
you over
Mayor.
there, man.
Mayor, this is also off topic. This is because this is something that's going on recently and something that you've talked about in the past, and it's dealing with juvenile crime. We talked about juvenile crime. We've talked about your issues dealing with juvenile crime in the past. Looking at the situations that are going on now with the other communities, including Baltimore, and also the Department of Juvenile Services. What are your concerns now? What are your comments about what's happening now?
Well, I think that my concerns, sorry about that, Barry. My concerns are the same, right? While we are extremely happy to see the way that violence continues to drop in Baltimore, right? Us having a 35% reduction in non-fatal shootings, a 26% reduction in homicides, a 10% reduction in carjackings, and even a 44% reduction in auto thefts. One incident of violence is too many for me. And the issues around what's happening with juveniles to me is just one example of what needs to be fixed. As you've heard from me, Barry, now for many years, we shouldn't be arresting a young person or anybody for that matter twice in the same day for similar crimes. That just simply should not happen. And what I'm going to say again is what I continue to say. While I am pleased to see the steps that the governor and DGS taken, specifically listening to our concerns about people being let go time and time again and things being changed in that matter, we have to really think about how we build a new system in partnership with our folks at the state to stop seeing these things happen. Because it's not just about that one incident. It's about what can happen if someone continuously is breaking in the cars, continuously robbing people, continuously carjacking people, because we have seen it. One day, and this is also for those young people, there is a better way, and for those adults, because I want to be very clear, Barry, the vast majority of the people that we arrest for stealing cars, for carjacking, for robbery, for shooting, for homicides, for guns, are adults, right? We have to also understand that is the truth. And there's a different way for them. We're here to help you in every way. And for the young people, there is a better way. Because what happens too many times is that we allow that kind of activity to continue. Not because for our side, for my side, the police aren't out there making arrests, right? I have to talk to them to keep them from getting disheartened, because they are arresting the same people over and over and over again, young and old, for the same crime, right? But this is also about for those young people that you don't want to one day be doing that and do it to the wrong person. It can cost you your life. That's the reality of what can happen and why we have to make sure that we're fixing these systemic issues. In my opinion, this is no longer about policy. It's not about laws that need to be changed in Annapolis. This is about us building a system to make sure that there's supports, accountability, and action at every single level to stop this stuff from happening.
There's also a call for the Department of Justice to come in and look at DJS. What do you think about that?
Well, this is the first I've heard of that, right? I think, as you know, I'm always going to first lean on and say that before we ask someone else to fix it, we need to really try to do it ourselves. But what I will say is that we have to continue to work together to make improvements to the system. Far too many people seep through the cracks early on that we could have saved their lives and continue to get them on the right path even after they've made a mistake. And far too many people who are not going to change are given chance after chance after chance after chance. That's the frustration for me because, as you know, we have to deal with the results of that. What happens is that no one goes and yells and screams at even their state representatives when someone who stole their car is back out and they see him on the street, they come yelling at me and the police department. And we have to make sure that we fix those systems to have that accountability, but also, again, to understand, especially when we're talking about young people, that you cannot treat a 14-year-old like a 30-year-old. Their brains haven't evolved enough yet for you to do that. And we can do these things that can provide that accountability, but also that rehabilitation at the same time. And right now, we don't have that.
Hi, just because I was here for a different event, can you give us a basic rundown of what the Women's Commission is, what it's intended to do, just the basics of it?
Well, I could, but I actually feel bad in doing that. I'm gonna let the director do that. I am not a man that's gonna be talking about what women are gonna do. That's just not gonna work for me. Just give Director Watkins, give them a breakdown on the Women's Commission and what the Women's Commission does. I could do that, but I think it's more appropriate for you to do it.
Well, I want to be joined by Jill Muth because she is actually the chief of the Women's Commission, and she can go through it a lot better than I can. But the Civilian Review Board is the longest standing. It was established in 1999, and it's Police Accountability Civilian Oversight Board. As many of you know, Maryland Police Accountability Act of 2021 codified what the mayor discussed. The Administrative Charging Committee and the Police Accountability Boards, they both are statewide, but Baltimore are front runners in this game when it comes to civilian oversight, as Civilian Review Board has been in existence since 1999, and that is what Mr. Hawkins became a member of and was sworn in to be a member of today. With regard to the Women's Commission, under this administration, the Scott administration reignited. There was a renaissance of the Women's Commission, and I want to say 2022. And the women are on fire to bring light to issues that are common to women, families, understanding that women are oftentimes the heart of our communities, of our families, and all things. So I'll defer to Jill Muth, Chief of Women's Commission and Veterans Commission, which is another commission that we will be hearing about soon, that also was reestablished under the Scott administration.
Thank you so much. I am blessed to work with a commission of diverse, dynamic, incredibly skilled, incredibly passionate women, some of whom have joined us here today. And what the Women's Commission does is advocate for high quality of life for women and diverse gendered individuals in Baltimore City so that they can thrive. They do that through research and education, advice and counsel, monitoring the workforce, monitoring boards and commissions, and various other functions. We currently have ongoing projects dealing with women's preventative health, access to preventative health care, resource platforms in Baltimore City, and connecting women to resources, as well as working with resources for family caregivers. So those are just a few of the projects we're working on, but we have a diverse group of awesome folks who are really dedicated to making a positive impact.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.